So you're probably thinking, I'm a Christian, I'm in business, I probably understand this stuff. So why do I need to go through the training? Well, that's a pretty good question. And for me, hardly a day goes by when I don't understand how much I don't know about kingdom business. In other words, there's a lot more than I really understand. And frankly, until you and I can walk into a boardroom and understand the mystery of what God's doing there, until we see the dead raised from a factory floor, until we see old products come to life, until we see sales cycles contracted, until we see contracts come through, broken equipment healed, until we see hands laid on machinery and it starts to work again, or computers, until we see the glory of God show up in a factory or in a business, in a boardroom, until we see people who are in economic bondage set free, until we see employees that are afraid to go into dark workplaces completely liberated and those places turn around, then we haven't seen anything yet, and we've got a lot to learn. For me, I've been through many training cycles and I'm still learning every day. There's three facets to our training. The first is the intellectual side, the wisdom side, if you like. We have to do our homework just as we would if we were doctors, if we were engineers building a bridge. We have to do our homework so that we go in prepared. So the one aspect is the intellectual frameworks. Very important. We don't short circuit this. We do a lot of training. The second facet is the whole aspect of community. As God wants CEOs to become pastors of the people in their corporations, as God wants division heads to be the people that are His hands and heart to the employees, so they need to understand how the purposes of God are discovered in community. So there's a community, a love, a grace aspect to what we do. The third aspect is the miraculous. You see, in John chapter 1 verse 14, it says that we beheld His glory full of grace and truth. So there's the grace element, the truth element. But then in John chapter 2, it says that He performed His first miracle and thus revealed the glory of God. Well, we say the purpose of business is to glorify God. That requires truth, it requires love, and it requires the miraculous. The fourth leg on the glory of God's stool in business, if you like, is the works of God. So a business should be doing God's work God's way. So these are the facets of the training. And really, we have a lot to learn. So our training is in depth. There's some audio where you listen to MP3 files or watch a video, if you like, of me doing some teaching. Then there are books to read, papers to review. There's also a case study, and you get to go online and work on that. There's an e-learning system which tracks your progress. And then you come to the sessions ready to chat, ready to discuss, ready to explore. And we just scratch the surface on the topics, but it's people who've done their homework coming to discuss. And that takes us through the meal where we do the book reviews and discussions, a section where we cover one of our 10 drivers of corporate impact, such as place, purpose, planning, people, all that stuff. Then we have in a session of particular teaching for the evening. It might be something on partnering, or a section on how we can use business impact networks to come together to transform a society. Ethics is another topic, any number of those. And then finally, we end the evening, once we've done our case study work and we've dug in and done scorecarding and worked on deliverables and developed some practical skills, then we end up with a discussion of marketplace miracles, what God is doing out there, typically through some case study, some story, some inspiring testimony of what God has already done out there with past clients. So I encourage you, don't think been there, done that, got the t-shirt, until we've really seen the blind see, the lame walk, the captive set free. We have got a lot to learn. By the way, most of those miracles that I mentioned, these are things that we've seen out there in our travels as we've gone, as we've worked. But even so, we feel we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more for us to discover, to see your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and we hope that you'll be joining us. Thank you.